Hi, it's Micah back with the Muse Tarot. Today we're going to do the minors, compare it to the Pink Sky by the Dark Forest. So first off, we got the Ace of Wands. So you can see like that spark of inspiration and creativity like sprouting from her head, just like a plant would grow. We got the fire element symbol right there. So the two. So in regular, he's like staring out, holding the world, looking out. He can go anywhere, right? And at first glance of this card, it kind of feels like a void, but you can see like her telescope, like, and her, doing the pose of looking out on the horizon. Like, any idea is possible. So it's kind of like a blank slate. For the three, like the ships coming in or, embarking on that journey, we got the idea of like the dominoes. Like, she took the time to put them in a row and like now's the moving forward. So with the four, this is a little bit of a different take, and it kind of represents like the elements of this suit, like all these people coming together. They look like they're meditating on a cloud, but they're taking that time from the outside world, right, to like come together. So the five, this is kind of confusing to me because normally it's like competition with others, but in this case, it's almost like it's with herself. Like there's different like windows of opportunity or like self-reflection, but she like doesn't really know where to go. She's all over the place. This crotch one's interesting and it's the only one that's radiating, but maybe that's like part of it, like your sexual desire maybe, and conflicts that can come with that. Like she's like not looking at her own reflection, so maybe that's issues with self-confidence or like overreaching or maybe looking down on yourself. Or she's kind of like dipping her toes in the water. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe there's too many options or too many insecurities when it comes to being creative. I love this card. So it's just beautiful. So for the victory, you can see all these people like lined up. They're super dressed, and she has like the lights in the background, like a movie star. She has like the star on her head. She's just gorgeous. And like the spotlight shining down, like this is her moment to be celebrated. So the Seven of Wands, or inspiration in this deck, this shows, like standing your ground against others. And this is kind of like keeping everything from closing in on yourself. Like all this darkness and tension, she's like pushing it away. Like you will not dim my light. And she's like naked and vulnerable. So it's a stressful situation. I can't run in heels. This is like an awkward running card to me for the movement that we get with the 8. These lines, I could take it either as resistance or movement, which I think is interesting. And then if you flip it over, we got like the snail's pace, right? I wish they did this in more cards, but they don't. So I put little notes in here. It took me a little while to read the book, so I didn't want to forget. Okay, so the Wounded Warrior, the last stand. This reminds me, I'm not sure if it's like The Witcher or the Wheel of Time, or maybe it's in both, but like the woman's taking like a last stand to like protect like the gates, to protect this path like leading to what's important. She's like She looks maybe a little unsure, but she's still confident in the fact that she's going to do what it takes. The 10. So like carrying the burden. This card shows both that maybe she's carrying the weight of everyone, or that she is smart enough to ask for that help, ask for like the assistance of moving forward with, you know, all these responsibilities. So the page, this is really boring compared to this. Like a guy looking at a stick versus, look at these kitties. The kitties are illuminated, okay? And her hair is like rainbow and this cloud. So when you have many ideas like sparking, like you're like, I want to do this, 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 and this, it can be a little like too much, right? There's still like room and space for it, for the clarity. But yeah, when you're like bursting of things of that you want to do, it can be hard to like pinpoint one. So the knights, this is a female only deck, and the knights are just horses. So this guy's like charging ahead. So, yeah, we got like the burst of the firework. We got like the fire in the hair, and it's moving forward. So for the queen, we got this cheetah right here. These beautiful pyramids, and she's just like touching the tip. And like her third eye area is illuminated. She got this gorgeous lipstick on. But she does seem like confident. Okay, so the kings. In this deck, they're not only horizontal, but they're the muses, which is kind of the completion. Like if the aces are the spark, this is like the embodiment of this suit, I guess. We got like the fiery aspects, and it's almost like these people are coming for like advice, like asking questions on like how they could achieve all this, and that there's like a direct path. I don't know. So we got the Ace of Emotions for the cup suit. She's like plunging out of the water for that air. She looks at peace with all her sea creature friends. So for the Two of Cups, it does look a little romantic, but it's also playful. Like, I mean, if you're playing in the water with someone, chances are you have a emotional trust connection with them, right? I mean, you wouldn't be playing in the ocean with somebody you thought was going to hurt you or drown you, right? So, yeah, the three is typically like that celebration with friends vibe. And this card looks a little bit more serious. Like, it definitely looks like the Hecate or Hecate, like the triple moon goddess energy. So I don't necessarily get the same feeling from this card. I have to think about it a little bit more. It's really beautiful. I think reading with it might make me feel a little bit different. Okay. So the four being like offered but not interested. So she doesn't realize, she's like, oh, I only have these three cups, but she's in a giant one. And the cups are like emotion, right? So she's not even seeing that people do care about her. Maybe someone is interested and she's just oblivious. All right. 5, we got the grief. I read and then I had to think about it. This kind of looks like a ship leaving to me. It doesn't say anything about it, but that's kind of the vibe I get. So maybe there's some loss there. But I like the fact that, so ice is like cold and hard and I don't know, cold, distant. And that's kind of how you can feel sometimes, like you harden up, right? But as your heart begins to like warm up, then it melts. And then you kind of have to sit in those emotions for a little bit and deal with them because it's not good to feel like cold and trapped, you know. You gotta let it flow and then take the time to get over it. All right. The 6, typically like this is like the happy memory giving card. She looks kind of upset. I mean, sometimes we look on the past and we're either sad that that's not the way our life is now or that we wish things would have been better. So don't focus on the bad, focus on the good things that happened, and don't stay in that place too long. Because if you're focused on the past, you can't be living in the present fully. So the 6 of Cups, you got a lot of options going on, not sure which to choose, pretty basic. All right, the 8 of Emotions, 8 of Cups, the leaving behind. So there's no cups in this card. And the eclipse is supposed to be symbolizing like that change, which can happen suddenly sometimes. Suddenly you just realize one day, it's not working for me and you got to leave. So the 9 of Cups, personal fulfillment, the wish card. So we get that reference with like the genie lamp right there. And she's peaceful. She's floating, meditating, beautiful rainbow making crystals around. And the 10. For how colorful this deck is, it's weird that we don't have a rainbow, right? But we got all these people like dancing and they're all connected and uniform. Nobody's like better than anybody else. They're on equal playing fields. They can take that time to celebrate and enjoy the now. This page of Cups freaks me out. I don't know why. So her heart is open, right? But this like fish going into a side uterus thing is just weird. I don't like the octopus shirt, even though I like octopuses, octopi, whatever. I don't know. Not my favorite card. It's okay. So the Knight of Emotions, Knight of Cups again. Nope, no man in this card, no people. So the only reference we have to love is this little itty bitty heart right down here. And I kind of wish there would have been a bigger one. But he's like dancing in the water, being cute. Happy horse. So the Queen. We actually don't have the cup in this card. But it is really pretty. So this one's submerged in her emotions, and then we have a figure like walking in the water up here, just enjoying the nice day and the nice weather. But I mean, I guess I get Queen vibes. And maybe like she's like the guardian of the ocean that cares for everyone who enters it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, King of Cups. The Muse of Emotions. She's just drinking it in. I mean, she doesn't look burdened by her emotions. She looks in control of herself. All right. Ace of Swords, Ace of Voices. So we got like the thought, the idea. I'm not sure like what these banners represent. Somebody let me know. I think they mean something, but I don't know. So we got like air and the owl for like the wisdom. Okay, so the 2. Making a decision. I can kind of take this as sometimes whatever path you choose leads to the same direction. Like sometimes it'll have the same outcome regardless. Or maybe it's like one can lead to a door and one leads away. We got these hands that almost look bound. And this like kind of freaks me out. Like it reminds me of like hair pulling, which I hate. But she's like covered in sand, which would be uncomfortable. And I'm guessing maybe that's like referencing the RWS a little bit. And she is blindfolded. And then we have this figure here that looks like calm and serene. So maybe it's like the divinely guided an aspect of like not to stress out over it. Even if you make the wrong choice, it's still like something to learn from. All right, I got another note. All right, 3 of Swords. What did I write here? Oh, a quote from the book. So, the crumbling of a path that was not really the true path at all. And the painful separation between what is desired and reality. So that's the thing, right? Our heart gets broken whenever things don't work out the way we want. Like we build up like the fantasized ideas in our head about the way we think things are going to go, and then when we don't, we get like crushed by that. So if it doesn't work out, then it was never meant to work out. If you like tried your best, right? So these are representing like the 3 swords coming down. She's just naked, vulnerable, like holding herself. We got like the crying, the tears. But like there's going to be something on the other side of that door. Like this isn't a permanent place. When you have had enough, then you get up and you go through the door and you move on. So the 4 of Swords, I don't like this like dead depiction. I'm a water baby. I love getting a bath. So like this works for me. Eyes are closed, but like, you know, she's still having thoughts and peaceful. So this is a reminder, like, you can be here. Like, just walk down the path and take a rest. So I tried to post this on my Instagram because I am confused. I don't get the, like, winning at what cost vibe. I guess, like, the olive branch is to symbolize, like, all right, we need to make peace with this situation, like, quit being a dick. And I don't know if these people are, like, you know, like meditating or yoga class, and this person is like, you know what, I'm better than you. Like, I don't even need to do that. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I don't know. So I really like this card. Typically, it's like moving out of rough waters, and you have like that guide, that ferryman, and you might be protecting other people with you on that journey. And this divine figure is helping her over the obstacles to the other side. My beef is that there's 3 down here, and there's 6. If you count these in the background, there's 6, but like, I don't know. If this would have been 6 down here, it would be a perfect card, in my opinion. So the 7, we got the sneaky thief. Okay, so this is like, sometimes you think a situation is like safe and okay to walk down that path, but in reality, you might be missing out on some obvious dangers, or not obvious, you know. Maybe you need to look around and, do these people have my best interest at heart? Do I have the best intentions in mind? So just like evaluating the situation, looking at it again before you make a decision. So 8. So she's like blindfolded and bound. and stuck. But it's all an illusion. She can't make a decision. She's like all tied up. Maybe feels like she can't talk, can't get out of it. But that's only a temporary state. So, yeah, the anxiety nightmare card. I don't get that just because this person looks so freaking peaceful and they're sleeping on a cloud. Like, I guess this is insinuating that, like, she's really awake and thinking she's just laying there, but I don't know. It doesn't convey it very well to me. And I think this Ten of Swords is beautiful because I don't like this defeated mentality. Because even when something bad happens, like, you can get over it. And okay, so when I read this, it mentions backstabbing, and then immediately I'm like, well, then why isn't she like stabbed in the back? And it said that she was stabbed in the back, and now she's in the point of rolling over, looking at it, facing it, and then she's gonna get up. So that's great. Good. Good job. All right. The Page of Swords. I think this card depicts it better than the RWS. It's just easier to understand. So she has these thoughts, like they're swirling around in her head. So she's putting her glasses on. She's doing that research, right? She might not be officially starting that business or writing a book yet, but she's preparing. Like, she's getting her thoughts together. So the Knight, we got like charging ahead. So this has that same like banner that the Ace has. And I like that it's like a Pegasus, like a flying horse, and it has the ability to move forward with speed because it's not letting the obstacles get in the way, right? Like, it's overcoming them by going over them. Like, it's like, I'm not letting anything in my way. I'm going forward. I'm moving with this. This Queen of Swords is gorgeous. So I think we get a good thing with the light and shadow. I like that we have the air symbol here. So like the crows are kind of like that dark mystery, can be a little edgy, but the fact that she has like white wings makes me feel like maybe she could be a little bit cruel, but she can also be like soft and honest, kind of like divine guidance. But look how pretty. All right, so the Muse or the King. So we got like the kites with that movement and the air sign again. So what I get is like, if you have the mental clarity, then there's no more obstacles in your way. Like, look how big this path is. So if you keep like walking down that path and keeping like a clear focus, then you can succeed. All right, we got the Ace. So you get that like earth element vibe. There's like flowers, moss, stones. At first I was like, why is there a wand in the card? But I mean, it's made out of wood. So we got like the upside down earth symbol. Yeah. And I like that the wand's kind of like still like manifesting material. All right, this shoe is great. It's beautiful. So she's balancing those roses, but she's teetering on like a diamond, right? So she can't keep this up forever. Like, you have to choose the correct balance of like time, energy, money, what you have, because if you don't want to lose everything, it needs to be balanced for the long run. All right, we got the disembodied head cards. I know some people are a little put off by this, but yeah, it's kind of weird. But I like the idea of a braid, right? So even if one person is like the manager, the teacher, and the others are more like the students, the fact is they can't complete the task alone. And when you braid, each strand is equally important. All right, the 4, we got that holding on. And it references the camel as like that they reserve the water supply for when they need it, right? But I also get the feeling that the camels like are we going to leave soon? Like are we going to move forward? Cuz if all you do is hoard your money instead of investing it or spending it on things that might make you happy, like the material itself isn't what brings happiness. I mean, security is a great feeling, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, the 5. So I like this. So basically, we have like a figure like wrapped in a white sheet. So they're looking quite vulnerable. And this like gold divine hand is trying to like get their attention to let them know like there is help. There is assistance. There is abundance in the world. You have to look for it, you know? All right, the 6, we got the giving. So, they're still holding on to like a chunk, right? But they're also releasing some. Like they know that they got this from like the universe. So they can give some back now. And the duality of like giving and receiving. And she looks really happy. Like it can feel really good to give. And it's kind of like an ongoing cycle, right? Those who receive have been given something. And yeah. So the 7 of materials. So yeah. Okay. So this is like all insinuating like a long road, right? And she knows like what perfection is and that she has to wait for it. Like she can't rush it. She already did the work and it's just going to take some time and waiting for that to, you know, be completed. All right, we got the 8. So this shows hard work in a more obvious way. This one kind of looks like balancing to me, but she does look prideful in her work, right? Like, um, it does seem like she might tire out at some point if she keeps up at this pace. But there is a sense of like pride and accomplishment, and she's like holding them delicately, like appreciating the perfection of her work. So the 9, I was a little confused by this hand at first. But I do like how happy she is and that like she's radiating that abundance. Like that feeling of like, man, like the harvest has really come in and now I can like enjoy and appreciate everything that I put into it. So the 10, this is a cool interpretation of legacy, right? Because like there's all these people, different generations, and this tree that was, grown, built up, accumulated is going to be there. Like even after like these children like grow up and get old, like it'll still be there to provide. Like literally planting a fruit tree and then it lasting for a very long time to keep providing. So the page, so she is like looking at it, and the fact that it like covers her face is almost like she's really, really focused on it. Like that's where her mind's at right now, is figuring out how to do the thing, right? Like the learning, the observing. Okay, so the knight, since we don't have a person and we don't have like the sowing of the field idea in the background, I mean, the horse is moving a little bit quicker, but we do have like the growth, the flowers, and the knight should represent some sort of movement or work being done. Like it is still the doing card. of the, wow, words are hard. Of the court. There we go. All right, so we got the queen. So if you look at this part, it's kind of like, oh yeah, she has a lot. Like she's definitely not in lack. But if you look at her down here, I think that's where you get like the caring vibe. Like she's smiling, like she's looking from the side, like she's about to be like, "Hey, you know, like what's up? Like you want to hang out? Like I'll take you out to lunch." You know what I mean? It like makes it more friendly. All right, so we got the king and then the muse of materials. So once again, it's basically like walking that path. Like if financial growth and stability is what you want to accomplish, then you need to walk that path, right? Um, and keep that goal in mind. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Sorry for the delay. I really like this deck. I really like the colors. I think it's going to be great for spring and summer. Let me know what you think.